been a journey, to say the least, for Cameron Wake, one of the top players in the National Football League, 5-time Pro Bowler from the Dolphins, back here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you doing, Cameron?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
So I guess this is technically your 11th season playing professional football. How are you different now than you were back when you did come off the campus from Central Pennsylvania?
The crazy thing is I'm not much different. Obviously, football is not a perfect science. I was one of those guys that got overlooked, but I'm glad the organization, Miami Dolphins, found me, and I've been here for quite a while, and I've enjoyed every minute of it.
I mean, has the game changed at all, technically?
I changed positions. That's about all. I was a kind of a traditional stand-up linebacker, Sam linebacker when I played at Penn State, but when I went to Canada, BC Lions, I put my hand in the ground, and I was a 4-3 defensive end, and that's what we play here. Down in Miami, I'm that traditional defensive end, not probably in size and stature, but in mindset and skill set. So, again, the game is football, getting to the quarterback, regardless of where you do it. And I've been blessed to find a home here in Miami doing that.
The fact that you went to the BC Lions, you went to Canada. Do you wear that as a chip on your shoulder every day?
It has a lot of different meanings, a lot of different words. People call it different things. Chip, humble, blessing. I mean, it's been called all those things, but it is something. The journey, creates a different mentality, a different mindset. And even more than that, I was actually out of football. I worked a regular 9 to 5. I was in the quote-unquote real world, getting up in the morning, going through traffic, putting on a suit and tie, doing all those things. And it gives you a different appreciation of being able to play the game that you love and do what I do. And, every day I use those things, that chip, as you call it, that experience to fuel the fire and allow me to go out there and play with passion. And you have to be able to do that to be successful in this league and at this position.
What job did you have, Cameron? What job did you have?
I was a mortgage broker and also a personal trainer. Later on, after I kind of wanted to get back in the athletic world, get back into shape, make sure I was ready when my number was called, hopefully when my number was called. And so being a personal trainer allowed me to work out and, get a little bit of, cash on the side to obviously live life. So, I was kind of doing two birds with one stone, and then BC Lions came calling, and I was ready.
So basically, Cameron Wake, you know how to sack the quarterback, stay in shape, and you can refinance a mortgage should you choose.
I can do it all. The more you can do, the more valuable you are. So I try jack of all trades.
I like it. All right, let's talk about your current situation with the Miami Dolphins, Cameron. Obviously, you cannot control what goes on the other side of the ball. What is it like to be ready for a season, have the quarterback that you've known for the past few years come back and ready to believe in him and be led by Ryan Tannehill, and all of a sudden now it's Jay Cutler in that position? What is that like?
Well, it's a bit of a adjustment. I mean, I think regardless of what, situation or what position you're talking about, in this league, it's a violent sport. It's not a contact sport. It's a collision sport. And, more often than not, you're going to have injuries. I've never been on a team that has made it through without someone, being put down and having somebody else come take their place. It's a little different, obviously, with quarterback, but you kind of have to address it the same way you do anywhere else. Obviously you don't want anybody to get hurt. You don't want anybody to have injuries. It's part of the game, and you have to kind of do the next man up mentality. And the football rosters are built so that obviously you have the best players you possibly can, that if something happens, whether it's an actual injury or a shoelace or a wardrobe malfunction, whatever it is, the next guy that goes in, you expect him to play at a high level. You expect him to be able to fill those shoes of whoever was the guy, the starter that was out. And really the expectations are the same. So, I don't think that's any different. I can speak for him when I'm talking about Tannehill and Cutler to say I know that he knows that there's expectations on him to fill the shoes that Ryan had, the big shoes. And obviously he's been playing very well in his last few games he played. He led this team to obviously get into the playoffs last year. And we wouldn't expect anything less from whoever is in that next spot. coming in when we start off the season.
But how do you believe in? Do you know Jay? Have you ever met him before, Cameron, at all?
I've met him a few times. Usually it's in the heat of battle, and I was laying a boom on him a couple of times, and I've obviously reminded him of that in the last few days, chasing him around on the field. But I hadn't met him personally, no.
Okay, so first of all, how did Jay take that good-natured, if you will, ribbing?
He took it in stride. We always talk smack back and forth, offense, defense, and he has a couple choice words for our DBs. About how he was going to perform in the next few weeks. So it's all in good fun. It's obviously a competition. It's the way you want it to be. We want it to make, whether it's him or any other quarterback or offensive lineman, that's the way we set it up, that we're going to make it as hard as possible. We're going to put you in the worst situations in practice with hopefully the best defensive ends chasing you all over the field, so that on Sunday, hopefully you've seen it before, you've done it before, and you know how to attack it and be successful when it really counts.
So you're saying, Cameron Wake here on the Rich Eisen Show from the Dolphins, you're saying Jay Cutler already feels comfortable enough to start woofing back at members of your defensive squad?
Well, I mean, this is not his first go-round. I mean, he's obviously done this for a while. He's a quarterback who's played a lot of plays in this league, and if you're a corner and you are going to talk trash to a quarterback and he's going to talk back, to me, that makes me feel good. I want you to be confident and say, listen, you can't intercept this ball. You're not going to be able to sack me. And as a defensive end or a quarterback, a cornerback, I want you to have the same confidence that whatever ball you throw, I'm going to take, and anytime you step on the field, you better look out for me to hit you. So that's the way football is built, and that's why I love this game, is because there's no in between. It's pass fail. Either you got the job done or you didn't. Both men say they can do the job. Only one's going to walk out victorious, and that's the way you want it.
How is Jay Ajayi doing? Best you can tell.
As far as I know, he's doing fine.
Okay. And for this team, what goals are you openly discussing, Cameron?
Improvement. I think, obviously it's one of the main reasons I signed him way back when I signed the Miami Dolphins was because of the franchise as a whole is a winning franchise. It's a franchise, when you think of it, it's always been on top. We always have, fan appreciation days, and they come and they talk about, how from the time they were, young kids or whatever it's been, that this franchise is one that's always been successful, and just doing whatever I can to help put, this franchise back in that place, back where it belongs. Building on the success we had last year. And I think for the most part, guys who were here understood what it took to get to that level. And even that level we got to just get into the playoffs wasn't enough. That say, all right, if you had to give so much to get there, now it's going to take even more to go even further and get, to our ultimate goal. So I think improvement is our main focus, whether it's individually, or as a unit or as a team, making sure that, we do better and be more consistent and so on and so forth. So that, to me, is the purpose of training camp, and that is our main goal and our main focus as a team.
Couple of more minutes left with Cameron Wake of the Miami Dolphins here on the Rich Eisen Show. You just mentioned earlier that you were working stiff, put on a suit and tie, 9-to-5 day job. You're a man of the world. You've been there and done that, football on and off the field. Mike Freeman of the Bleach Report saying that he's spoken to several players over the weekend about what happened in Charlottesville, Virginia, and how there might be more protests. We've already seen Michael Bennett sit down. We've already seen Marshawn Lynch sit down during the national anthem. Are you and the Dolphins having a conversation within the locker room about events outside of it, Cameron?
Well, we definitely speak about a lot of things that are going on in the world, and that's, current events, something that's come up. And, the reality is, we all live in, United States of America, and there's so much going on and so much that affects not only us, personally, but our families and friends and loved ones. And there are so many things and so many times throughout, the season or even off season that things happen that are bigger than football, as they say. Obviously we play a game, and for the time we're playing, it's very serious to us. But I think most guys know that, there's a big picture out there, and there's things that, need to be addressed and things that are going on that I think surpass a game, playing a football game. And I think things that are going on, obviously, with Charlottesville being one of them, where, it is something that is hard to ignore. And, I think that's not something that, we as a Dolphins team or family, something that's fallen to deaf ears. So that's something that we've spoken about for sure.
All right, before I let you go, Cameron, how concerned should I be about the Wolverines walking into Penn State, middle of this Big Ten season? How concerned should I be as a Wolverine?
That just speaking about this Wolverine makes me a little nauseous. But
oh boy,
over the past few years, I look at this team, the Penn State football team I'm speaking about, and it seems like we're just getting better and better. And obviously, I think you should be very nervous being a Wolverine,
okay,
Wolverine fan.
All right, you want to put a number on it, a scale of 1 to 10? How concerned I should be?
Concerned. I think 12 would be a good number.
Oh my gosh. I didn't even know usually it might go to 11, but not 12. All right, so can we put a pin in this conversation and revisit it maybe sometime in October? What do you think?
I think that's fair.
Okay.
I'm down for that.
All right. I just want to make sure that whatever's going on in the NFL season for you and the Dolphins, you're still going to make time for my phone call. Okay?
I got you.
Okay.
Sure.
Cameron, I always appreciate you calling in. Thanks so much. Good luck the rest of the preseason and certainly week 1 and beyond.
I appreciate that. Thank you for having me.
You bet. That's Cameron Wake of the Miami Dolphins here on The Rich Eisen Show.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on radio stations across the country and audience.
If you liked some of that, get some more of that on the Rich Eisen Show app. Follow all the information you see right here on the Rich Eisen Show.